What's going on, everybody? It's Lucca Tonelli with the Solomon Group at Coldwell Banker Action. Welcome to this week's episode of the Wausau's Real Estate Show. And today's topic is, what does 2023 look like for investors? If you're joining me on the podcast, welcome. But if you're watching the video, let's just jump right into it. So first, you kind of have to establish what your goals are, right? So we're kind of going to be talking about fixer-uppers and turnkey properties. We're going to start with the fixer-uppers. So these are your C's and D properties. So the first thing that we're seeing is contractor costs are going down. And this is because, they have a little bit more available time as opposed to a couple of years ago. So we're seeing that directly correlate to the cost dropping a little bit. These properties are going to be lower in price just because of the nature of having to fix them up a little bit. And in the 2023 market, we're going to be seeing lower offers in relation to the listing price on these properties. Jumping over to the turnkey side of it. So these are going to be your A and B properties. These are going to be properties that are ready to be rented out right away. So obviously you're going to have a strong demand for these because these are pretty popular among investors. Larger buying pool because, this market is split between investors and first-time home buyers. So there is going to be a large buying pool, strong demand for that. And because of this, there's going to be lower inventory. So it's going to be harder to attain these properties as an investor. So you got to work quick and jump on those opportunities when you can. Now down here, we have a couple things that are just general knowledge that are going to affect both sides. So interest rates. We're seeing that interest rates are going to climb through the early months of 2023, but we're expecting them to come back down towards the middle to the end part of 2023. So just look for that. All right, and then what we're seeing for a rental forecast is, so in these C and D, your $600, $700, $800 a month rental options, buyers can't be as picky because there's so low inventory of those rental properties. There's kind of a lack of affordable housing. So these renters don't necessarily have the luxury of being able to be picky with what they get into. So they're kind of just getting into anything that they can. Where, these single family homes that people are renting out, they have the luxury of being a little bit more choosy because, there's not as high of a demand for those single family homes. And those people are, taking all of the things into consideration when choosing a rental property. So they are being a little bit more picky. So we're seeing that on the rental side of it. Now, something to keep in mind, all in all, is that in this market, there is still really good opportunities, but we're not seeing them as often as we are, 2-3 years ago, where you can build a portfolio really quick. There is still good opportunity, but keep in mind to manage those expectations. It is going to take a little bit longer in this market, but it is still a really good time to start.